an end to their detention, which began on June 24th amid an investigation into an alleged plot targeting government officials. The criminal investigation remains ongoing. The Homeland Security Minister has ordered the release of Dominic and Genevieve Hadid, saying their continued detention is no longer justified. The pair were arrested on June 24th and detained under preventive detention orders issued during the state of emergency. In a statement on Thursday, Minister Alexander said he considered the findings of the review tribunal, which ruled on July 19th that further detention was not necessary in the public interest. He also took into account a medical report on Dominic Hadid's condition. The minister noted that investigators have widened their probe, which now involves local and international law enforcement agencies. He also said the Privy Council declined to fast-track the appeal, meaning the Hadids could have remained detained until the end of the state of emergency, a situation he described as disproportionate. Despite their release, Alexander said both individuals will remain under police monitoring as the criminal investigation continues, with protective measures still in place for those considered at risk. He added that he expects full cooperation from the Hadids with the investigators. In other news, a dedicated artificial intelligence data center could play a critical role in establishing Trinidad and Tobago as a regional hub for the digital economy. That view comes from Jaya Ramutar, manager of the Project Management Unit at the Ministry of Public Administration and Artificial Intelligence, who says the country must act now and invest strategically to remain competitive in the fast-growing global AI industry. Speaking on behalf of the Minister Dominic Smith at the inaugural Caribbean Artificial Intelligence Forum 2026 at UWI on Thursday, she stressed the need for the region to strengthen its digital capabilities.
The landscape will also have to respond to rapidly changing business models, evolving market forces, and the growing importance of digital infrastructure. Compute capacity, cloud services, cybersecurity, data centers, broadband connectivity, energy reliability, and regulatory certainty are no longer peripheral issues. They are central to competitiveness.
She noted that this is one reason Trinidad and Tobago is exploring the development of a dedicated AI data center in South Trinidad.
This is precisely why Trinidad and Tobago is actively exploring the development of advancement of AI infrastructure, including the establishment of a dedicated AI data center in Davie. We recognize that in the digital economy, data centers are becoming as strategically important as ports, airports, industrial estates were to previous generations.
She said data centers are becoming as strategically important to modern economies, adding that the proposed facility could bring significant economic benefits. In some sport now, former Defence Force FC head coach and TNT national footballer Denzel Theobald will serve as head coach of Jamaican Premier League team Racing United FC for the upcoming season. Having already overseen his first training session with the club, Theobald's appointment was officially confirmed on Thursday via the club's Instagram page. Joining Theobald's coaching staff are fellow countryman Kevin Musillo, who will serve as goalkeeping coach, and trainer Franz Husbands. The move sees the 2006 TNT FIFA World Cup squad member link up with TNT players Adriel George, Joshua Wilson, and goalkeeper Aaron Ennell, who won last season's Golden Glove. Racing United finished the Jamaica Premier League in 6th place last season. And that's what's making the news this morning. But joining us right now is the host of Trinidad and Tobago Today, Virmala Balkaran. Good morning and happy Friday, Virmala.
Good morning and happy Friday, Carrie. You made it. I want to say congratulations. I'm so proud that you made it to Friday.
Oh, yes, we have. You know, every time Friday comes around, I keep hearing like Super Blues voice in my head, you know.
Friday
mash up the place.
Go ahead. I mean, I'm ready. I'm here for it. Go ahead.
No, that was all. That was all they'll get.
Oh, that's all you had?
You know, that's all they'll get.
Okay,
I have more, but that's what they'll get right now. It's too early in the morning.
Well, it's been a really long week, Carrie. You know, for so many people. Also, as we told you, a lot of activities for the kiddies out there, the Java. And
right.
I must tell you, I am absolutely impressed with how late children can stay up.
I mean, I don't know about you, but we used to do the same thing growing up.
No, I didn't. You know, my parents were so strict, they would, catch your bed.
Oh, no. Like, for us, we were allowed, I was given a lot of leeway, all 3, 4 in the morning, up playing PlayStation.
My mom is watching, I'm pretty sure, and she would always just send me to my bed. You know, it's late. When school starts, you're going to have a hard time waking up, so you need to catch your bed. That was
But there's a whole 2 months and something to get that back in order. So
listen to me. I don't know, but I can do with that 2 months. I would like to claim, you know, all the 2-month periods that I refuse to get rest all throughout my life. You know, I want them back right now, and I think I want yours back for you.
You'd have to get a job as a teacher. That's what you'd have to do.
Well, some can argue that they also have a lot going on during.
Oh yeah, they certainly have a lot going on. Like I can never discount the work that teachers do. They're so critical and so key in today's society on every level.
Absolutely.
You know, without teachers and their dedicated work, you know, the world we live in will be very different.
And hopefully our teachers are taking that well-needed break. Also, you know, you're giving your students, giving your children a well-needed break. Maybe a little road trip. You know, I am a road trip specialist. I just want to put that out there, that I am the best navigator that Carrie has ever had the pleasure
you can
of knowing.
choose great destinations. I'll give you that. You choose great destinations. Getting us there, you know, that is where the
For
little trouble
context,
comes in.
ladies and gentlemen, I found a reel yesterday and I sent it to Carrie and I said, look, it's me. It's somebody who's losing their friends, you know, along the way.
Yeah, because your road ended by a lake, you know, and that's not where they intended to go. It was a nice lake.
And then Carrie responded, it didn't look like that in the pictures. And I will tell you, it absolutely did not. So it was not my fault.
Yeah, that reminds me of that Chatham Note adventure we went on.
The best. I can't wait to show everyone that right here again. You know, maybe we should do that very soon. Show them.
We should.
Show them how much fun we actually had. Well,
oh
Carrie,
yeah, definitely. I mean, we can't show them all the fun, like, you know, blasting out the chutney music and.
Oh my God! You have to tell everyone. We had the best time.
We did.
Yeah, and then we saw some cabins. Oh, we did a lot. So maybe we can show that very soon. We'll think
maybe
about
today.
that.
We never know.
You never know. All right, Carrie. Well, another packed show in store for you today. You know, it's Christmas in July. We've been celebrating, and also I think that officially is tomorrow. Is it?
Oh, well, you know what? I need to go bake a ham, you know. Yeah. Well, I don't drink, so I wouldn't make the puncha creme, you know. I could probably make a virgin puncha creme, which is just milk and sugar.
Or use pumpkin, you know. I think that's a really good substitute. All right, Carrie, well, I'll talk to you soon. Have a great one. Happy Christmas in July and happy Friday.
You as well.
I hope you get lots of rest.
I hope you do as well.
All right, Carrie, talk soon.
All right, have a good one.
Bye.
When we come back, the Trinidad and Tobago Today morning show gets going right after this short break. Stay tuned.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
Being connected, it means a lot because first of all, you can't do this by yourself.
When you have your phone, you always have somebody at your side. I could call for help, anything going like, you know.
You know, I'm giving children the opportunity to experience outside of their neighborhood.
Digital is kind of a comfort, you know, you feel good that people in your lives are always able to be contacted.
I was with the other network and I was having problems, so I joined Digicel and I never regretted it.
Resilient, brave, worthy. 12 majestic women, 12 majestic journeys. Majestic Makeover Season 3, coming soon to TTT and TTT Live Online.
Majestic Makeover Season 3 is powered by
There are a number of risk factors for heart disease, so a lot of attention has to be put towards preventive cardiology. What can we do to reduce the burden due to all these risk factors? Hypertension, diabetes, cholesterol, we need to stop cigarette smoking, you gotta get people exercising.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
We need to have a fundraising event to raise some money for the children's clinic.
Just think about all those kiddies at the clinic.
You probably don't even know that you're smiling.
My boy, so charming.
Friday, 24th July 2026. The time now, it is 6:11 a.m. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago and the world. I'm Virmala Balkaran, and welcome to Trinidad and Tobago Today. Well, let's take a look now at what's trending this morning. Well, as you know, the business executives Dominic and Genevieve Hadid have been released after Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander revoked the preventive detention orders issued against them during the state of emergency. And the minister said the decision followed a review of the legal, medical and constitutional issues surrounding the couple's detention, while also stressing that the police investigation remains active. Well, joining us now to discuss the constitutional and governance implications of this latest development is political scientist and constitutional expert, Professor Hamid Ghani. Good morning and welcome back, Professor.
Good morning. Thank you for having me back.
Good to have you back. Now, Professor, what does the minister's decision to revoke the preventive detention orders really tell us about how these powers are exercised and reviewed during a state of emergency?
Well, I think what we have here is the existence of a very healthy constitutional democracy in which the ability of anyone who is detained under a state of emergency to go to the courts to seek to have their matter reviewed. That is something that we see was played out very actively in this instance. The state of emergency, a period of a state of emergency, grants directly to the executive branch of government the right to detain persons. And then there are certain other safeguards that are built in. You have the review tribunal, which can hear applications, whether or not someone has put an application before them, and they may make certain recommendations, but those recommendations are not binding on the state. And also that individuals may go to court to challenge whether or not their detention was reasonably justifiable, so that Section 7 of the Constitution will address some of these issues. But it does give the state the right to detain persons. So this is something that a power that the executive has only during a state of emergency. So that the decision of the minister is the minister is the one who has the responsibility under the Constitution to detain persons or to release them from detention. And I think that what has happened here, the minister's statement indicated that he reviewed medical, constitutional, and a number of other issues and made the decision to release the two of them. But at the same time, the minister made some interesting remarks in the statement that the investigation is now continuing and now is spreading across multiple jurisdictions. So we don't know exactly what that means and what's behind that. It's clear that the medical evidence is something that concerned the minister in making the decision, and it's also quite clear that the state was open to changing his mind on the circumstances. The third person, or their relative, that matter is coming up before the court today, so that the state is still pursuing that particular matter, but the state has decided to release the first two, the husband and wife team, in respect of this. So that I think that what we're seeing is our Constitution very much at work. And this is why you have all of these safeguards, and this is why you have all of these procedural requirements.
Now, Professor, throughout this matter, we've also seen the involvement of the executive, the courts, and the review tribunal. So what does this case now really tell us about how these different institutions operate and balance one another, especially during a state of emergency?
Yes, well, the position with regard to a state of emergency was changed in 1976 when we became a republic. The Wooding Constitution Commission had made certain recommendations with regard to a state of emergency. So whereas before, you would have had a proclamation by the Governor General that would last for 1 month, the Wooding Commission had recommended that that be changed to 15 days. The government of the day accepted that recommendation and put it into the Republican Constitution. Also, the Wooding Commission commented on the fact that you would normally get some radio and television broadcast by the Prime Minister of the day under the former Constitution to talk about a state of emergency and the reason for it and so on. And that was the end of the story. What the Wooding Commission recommended was that once a state of emergency was recommended, and was brought into force, that the government of the day should be required to prepare a statement issued through the office of the president to be sent to the parliament for debate, so that there would be ministerial responsibility being taken for the declaration of a state of emergency and an explanation to parliament being required. So that was introduced. The Wooding Commission had also recommended that the findings of the review tribunal should be binding on the state, but the government of the day at the time in 1976 did not accept that recommendation, and therefore the situation with regard to the review tribunal is one where its findings are not binding on the state, and the state can ignore them. So that provision was not accepted from the Wooding Commission, and what we have is the continuation of the power of the state to ignore the findings of the review tribunal. So we have a changed position since 1976 when we became a republic, and I think like everything else in our constitution, there is robust challenging to all of the various positions that you have, which is I think consistent with a functioning democracy. And really does not go into the zone that others had been saying for quite some time, that Trinidad and Tobago was becoming a dictatorship, and this kind of dictatorship talk has been going on for decades. A lot of people say these things when they're perhaps disappointed with outcomes. But I think that on the balance of probabilities, we have a very well-functioning constitution that is able to address robustly all of the situations that are presented to it. We're still standing.
And now, looking beyond this case, do you think that this matter is likely to influence future discussions on preventive detention orders, or, even lead to changes in how they're used or reviewed?
Well, it's quite possible that a number of lessons can be learned from what has transpired. A robust challenge was mounted. It's not every day that persons can get 4 senior counsels, articulating their matter before the court. But I think that kind of discourse and that kind of dialogue does offer us some ways forward in how we address these things. The issue of states of emergency, we've had a mixed bag with regard to what states of emergency have been declared for. But this is perhaps the 4th state of emergency that has been declared, particularly to deal with the crime situation. They had in 2011, the first one that dealt exclusively with the crime situation. Then there was one on the 30th of December 2024. And there were some challenges to the regulations that went to court, and the court ordered certain changes in the regulations. Then you had that state of emergency went on until April of 2025, but obviously could not have been extended because Parliament was dissolved in March of 2025. So that ended in April, just before the general election. And then you've had 2 so far under this government, July last year and March this year, where you've had a state of emergency brought forward that has been extended. So that I think that so far the constitutional compliance is very high, and ministers are exercising their powers in accordance with the Constitution. And I think that there are issues from the debate around the state of emergency that are coming up. I see a lot of commentary out there about various aspects of emergencies and so on. But I think that the history of states of emergency will tell us something that can add to this overall debate as we go forward as a country dealing with the issue of states of emergency.
Well, Professor, before we wrap up this, I want to keep you on for a little bit more, but I want to ask you, what are your final thoughts on this entire situation, and what do you want to leave our viewers with this morning about this situation that we've been discussing?
Well, I think one of the things that has emerged is that there is no class barrier to persons who can be detained under a state of emergency. And I think that, if there is a glass ceiling that has been broken somewhere, it has to do with the perception that there is a class barrier, that there's one rule for one set of the society and another rule for another set in society. I think that has been shattered. And what we've seen is a kind of equalization with regard to the use of powers of the state of emergency, and that the state does not operate on a selective basis in respect of persons involved in being detained or what have you under a state of emergency. I think that a significant class dimension has been considered here. And I think that from that point of view, this situation with regard to the preventive detention orders has woken up the public and at the same time has created a new dynamic in terms of every creed and race find an equal place in terms of how the state functions and how the state operates. The Constitution is available and the powers of the state are exercised and do not demonstrate favoritism to one class or another. I think that we've had a very interesting and robust debate coming out of this particular state of emergency on this particular point.
Well, Professor, I want to wrap up that side of the discussion now, but as I have you here, I'd like to keep you on for a little extra time, and there's always so much to talk about. And Monday will mark the 36th anniversary of the events of July 27, 1990. And as we know, it's one of the most significant moments in TNT's history, and 3.5 decades later, we really want to reflect on its impact and the lessons over the years and how the country has evolved since then. We have something now from Dominic Kaliprasad before we get into this discussion.
This is Trinidad and Tobago Television. We are being allowed to make another news bulletin. The Imam Abu Bakr wants you to know that the police headquarters in downtown Port of Spain has been gutted by fire. They are still in control of TTT. The staffers here are unharmed. To repeat, the Imam Abu Bakr wants you to know that the police headquarters in downtown Port of Spain has been gutted by fire. They are still in control of TTT. The staffers here are unharmed.
At 6 p.m. this afternoon, the government of Trinidad and Tobago was overthrown. The Prime Minister and members of the cabinet are under arrest. We are asking everybody to remain calm.
Definitely a polarizing moment, especially sitting here. It's really something to look back on. So, Professor, Monday will mark 36 years since then. So for younger viewers now who may only know about it from the history books, why is it such an important and significant chapter in our history?
Well, it's a significant chapter because it perhaps provided the sternest test to our constitution and our system of government and our way of life that we've ever seen. And it came out of the blue. It was unexpected. We only had one media house at the time, which was TTT, where you are. And there were no other media houses, no other television stations in existence at the time, so that the vulnerability of the state was tremendous in such a situation. And therefore, what you had was the sole television broadcaster being the purveyor of that kind of information and the commentary that was associated with it. I think that now we've opened up the media landscape. The NAR government, before it went out of office in 1991, had liberalized the media market both in radio and television, so that you have a much more diverse media marketplace, so that that kind of episode that you just showed there would not dominate the airwaves, because there would be competition from other media houses. So I think that decision by the former NAR government before it left office is one that has lasted in terms of the evolution of our society in such a way that perhaps there is now greater security in terms of communication in the face of an episode like that. Of course, we have seen since that time to now a worsening of the crime situation. And I think that a number of persons would have been put in a situation of having to try to grapple with that kind of situation, whereas we had lived a relatively charmed life as an innocent, emerging independent state republic on the world stage. Our innocence was lost that day. And I think ever since then, we have been very different. But the attitudes to crime and criminality and the way in which these things are viewed, there is an element of viewing that as something, as a shock to the system, because we've never really seen something like that. We've had episodes, but states of emergency have been declared for all kinds of things, but that perhaps was one of the most extreme situations that we faced where state of emergency was concerned.
Now, Trinidad and Tobago, Professor, has experienced several states of emergency over the decades. Now, each under different circumstances. So how has the power and the use of the emergency measures really evolved over time?
Yes, well, we had our first post-independence state of emergency in March of 1965, when the government of the day was facing a number of strikes in the sugar belt, and declared state of emergency in selected parts of the country, primarily sugar belt areas, and detained a number of persons, because the purpose behind that was to allow Parliament to be able to meet and enact the Industrial Stabilization Act, the ISA of 1965. During, of course, that period, there was to be a test match at the Queen's Park Oval between Australia and the West Indies. And the renowned public intellectual C.L.R. James, Trinidadian public intellectual C.L.R. James, had come to Trinidad to cover the event for two UK newspapers. And upon his arrival, the emergency powers were amended to include the area where he was living, so that the government of Dr. Williams could put C.L.R. James under house arrest. So he was put under house arrest in March of 1965. And then when the emergency was lifted after the legislation was enacted, he was released. Media reports at the time in some of the newspapers of the day said he had no idea why he had been put under house arrest, but the reality is that he was. In 1970, we had the Black Power uprisings in April of 1970. And again, a state of emergency was declared as the government of the day attempted to control the Black Power movement and to try to restrain it. And you had emergency powers being applied, and a number of persons were detained and put on Nelson Island. And you had a situation after that with court martials and so on that came out of it. So we've been evolving. And then we became a republic in 1976. One of the first states of emergency, or the first one that was declared in November of 1976, right after we became a republic, was a state of emergency at the old General Post Office on Wrightson Road. And that state of emergency was declared because of a pileup of mail, so that the state of emergency was declared to be able to clear the sorting room and allow the clearance of mail. Back in those days, of course, snail mail was the way that you did a lot of business. And what you had was the union for the postal workers became the target of the state of emergency, and the state was able to go in and start clearing mail ahead of the Christmas rush and so on. So that was the first state of emergency after we became a republic. The following year, there was a state of emergency at Piarco Airport and Crown Point Airport exclusively, and not anywhere else. And that really came out of an incident in September of 1976 when a Cubana Airlines aircraft crashed off Barbados after takeoff. But it emerged that a bomb had been placed on board the aircraft at Piaco, and a security review was being undertaken of both airports. So a state of emergency was declared in 1977 at both airports. And therefore we went ahead now down to 1995, where you had a state of emergency being declared to detain Oka C. Paul, Speaker of the House, under a house arrest detention order. So state of emergency was passed in the city of Port of Spain just to detain the Speaker. And she was released after Parliament passed legislation to amend the Constitution to introduce a mechanism to remove the Speaker from office. So that you've had that in 1995. That didn't last for very long. Once they passed the legislation, they lifted the emergency. It was the second time an emergency had been passed to allow Parliament to meet unhindered to pass legislation. And then, we've seen the 2011 state of emergency, and then we've had the state of emergency for COVID in 2021. The public health ordinance did not provide for curfews, and the government was required to declare state of emergency so that it could declare curfews to limit people from moving around during the COVID-19 exercise. And then we move into this era of 3 consecutive states of emergency to address the issue of crime and criminality in the country.
Well, before we go, Professor, as we reflect now on this anniversary, what message would you like to leave with the people of Trinidad and Tobago about, preserving our democracy and truly continuing to build a resilient nation?
Well, I think that, our Constitution continues to work for us. There's a lot of public commentary that says, that you have all of these weaknesses and calling on people to resign and various things. Calling for people to resign is a chorus that has gone on over the years, and it's one of the things that people are free to say. But the thing is, the freedom to speak. I mean, even during a state of emergency, all of the things that have been said about a state of emergency, the population remains free to speak. And in this age of social media, all kinds of things can be said. Of course, there must be responsible dialogue, but at the same time, one cannot say that we live in a dictatorship with all of this freedom of speech and freedom to access the courts and freedom to continue life in a particular way, having regard to the circumstances. And I think that in the 50th year of our republic, which is this year, we've done pretty well in terms of changes of government back and forth, and in terms of the ability of the citizen to continue to speak and to take certain actions during a period of state of emergency. And I think that our report card as a republic after 50 years is quite a good one, where political change and political diversity and political challenges are concerned.
Well, Professor, thank you so much for helping us to really place this important anniversary in its proper historical and national context. And we look forward to when you join us again on Trinidad and Tobago Today.
Thank you very much.
All right, have a great day. All right, 36 years later, the events of July 27th, 1990 remain a true reminder of the value of democracy and strong institutions and collective vigilance. And as a country, remembering the past is essential, not to remain trapped in it, but so that we ensure that its lessons continue to shape a more secure, resilient and united Trinidad and Tobago. We get ready to take a short break, and when we come back, the show continues.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
Being connected, it means a lot because, first of all, you can't do this by yourself.
When you have your phone, you always have somebody at your side. I could call for help, anything going like,
You know, I'm giving children the opportunity to experience outside of their neighborhood.
Digital is kind of a comfort, you feel good that people in your lives are always able to be contacted.
I was with the other network and I was having problems, so I joined Digicel. And I never regretted it.
I'm Jamila Bannister, host of the Socially Safe podcast, the new TTPS podcast where we share real stories, teach real lessons, and create real impact. From online safety and youth crime to community policing and personal responsibility, we go beyond the headlines and talk about what's happening in our communities with the officers and experts who are on the front lines. Because safety starts with awareness, conversation, and action. Tune in to the Socially Safe podcast on the TTPS YouTube channel, listen on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Don't miss it.
Watch on TTT, Mondays 6 p.m., Tuesdays 1:10 p.m.
If it matters to you, it matters to us. We report the news, real stories in real time. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Welcome back to the show. If you're streaming us live on Facebook or YouTube, a special good morning to you. If you're just joining us, well, it's good to have you here. Continuing to take a look at what's trending this morning, the Hunters Search and Rescue Team says 2 people have now been confirmed dead after a pirogue carrying about 30 migrants overturned off Losero Beach during an illegal sea crossing to Venezuela. And search teams recovered the bodies of an adult Venezuelan man and a 6-year-old girl who had been initially reported missing. And officials say, based on information from the Venezuelan migrant community, no other persons are currently unaccounted for. Police, the Coast Guard, and other emergency responders continue investigations into this tragedy. And the death toll from Guyana's MV Virmala ferry disaster has risen to 72 as search and rescue operations continue. Well, Prime Minister Mark Phillips says 2 more bodies were recovered today, bringing the total number of victims recovered to 72, with 65 identified by their families. He says 22 assets, including 19 vessels and 3 aircraft, remain engaged in the operation as technical teams work to reposition the vessel and continue the search across a 2,100 square kilometer area. The government has also announced national prayer services as Guyana continues to mourn the victims of the country's deadliest maritime disaster in modern history. And remember Papa Ute, the ocelot rescued from Cedrus after being found with a gunshot wound? Well, he's continuing to make encouraging progress on his road to recovery. Just look at him, how cute. Now, according to vet Dr. Kriyan Singh, Papa Ute is doing very well and he has regained significant strength in both his front and hind limbs. He's eating well and remains very active while he's still unable to coordinate walking on his own. He's standing with the support of a sling during some rehab sessions. Oh, look how sweet. And Dr. Singh also shared that a specially designed wheelchair wheelchair has been made for Papa Ute, and the team is gradually helping him to become accustomed to it as they prepare to move him independently. Now, for now, his recovery will continue with daily physiotherapy, proper nutrition and supplementation, and a whole lot of love as the team works towards giving him the best chance at a full recovery. And just a quick reminder about our birthday segment, celebrating you. We really love helping you make your loved ones' special days even more memorable right here on Trinidad and Tobago Today. So sending in a greeting is super easy. Just follow the guidelines on your screen and you might see them featured on air. Keep those greetings coming. We really can't wait to celebrate with you. And any avocado lovers out there, I used to be a fan. I don't know if I am anymore. I've just had so much of it. But scientists out there discovered a diverse range of avocado species in Nicaragua's rainforest, potentially offering genetic diversity to protect the vulnerable commercial avocado industry. While the local varieties adapted to warmer climates could help to diversify the avocado supply chain and boost sustainable agriculture. But despite resembling the avocados found in humid regions like Florida and right here in the Caribbean, the local varieties are going to be a little bit genetically distinct from the commercially grown fruits that are found in guacamole or, zabaca choca, if that's what you're into, or on the side of pilau. Very interesting. Something to look forward to. Well, you know what to do right now. Grab a cup of coffee and settle in. Trinidad and Tobago Today has already begun.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
This August, join TTT as we celebrate emancipation through a month of culture, history, and entertainment. In collaboration with the Emancipation Support Committee of Trinidad and Tobago, experience the Pan-African Festival as it unfolds across your screens. Beginning with the historic Emancipation Ceremony, live from downtown Port of Spain on August 1st, Emancipation Day, TTT brings you a month-long lineup of festival highlights, including the Youth Pan Extravaganza, Pan-African Night Concert, Unity Reggae Concert, and much more. Delve into our history, heritage, and the contributions of our African descendants through powerful documentaries that preserve stories of resilience, identity, and legacy. Plus, enjoy a selection of entertaining films and dramatic stories to round out your viewing experience. This August, connect with the culture, the stories, and the moments on TTT and ttt.live/train.
Your news, anytime, anywhere. TTT News brings you the facts that matter most, on air and online. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Find anybody special yet?
To answer your question, no boyfriend, no prospects, no nothing. Okay?
Hey everybody, Mike Avery here.
It's kind of cute. If Mike Avery asked me out, I would say yeah.
You're DMing Mike Avery?
She said she'd go out with him. I set up a fake profile. I want you to take my sister out.
2 minutes to go in the fourth. You know how important that is? You know what I'm saying?
Being in person is so different.
You said it was what you wanted.
You are my Christmas wish. You know that.
Well, dance has the power to transcend borders, bringing together cultures and stories and artists in a way that few other art forms can. And this year, Trinidad and Tobago has been selected as the very first stop on the Amalgamation Gala Caribbean Tour, a production that has become one of the region's most celebrated dance events over the past decade. Presented by Plie for the Arts, the gala also marks the organization's 10th anniversary and will bring together internationally acclaimed performers, leading Caribbean dance companies, and our very own National Philharmonic Orchestra of Trinidad and Tobago for one night only, a performance in Napa on August 23rd. And the production will also create opportunities for local dancers through a special masterclass designed to inspire the next generation. And joining us this morning is founder and artistic director of Plie for the Arts, Marissa Benet, who joins us via Zoom, along with the patron of the Trinidad and Tobago Gala, Wendy Fitzwilliam. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good to have you both here. Hi, Marissa. Are you hearing us?
Hi, good morning.
It's good to have you virtually. We wish you were here with us in studio.
Well, I definitely would prefer to be there as well.
Now, Marissa, Plie for the Arts is celebrating 10 years this year. Now, looking back, what has that journey been like, and what does reaching this milestone really represent for you and the organization?
Well, it's really a dream come true. It's been 10 exciting years. Challenging, but we focus on the achievements and not the labor part of it. And we have grown immensely. Literally, we have taken some of the best dancers from around the world, from the four corners of the earth. If you are a major dance star and you've not danced on Amalgamation, it simply means the schedules aren't working. But we're very proud, and I'm a part of the vision when we started was that we wanted this gala to be in the Caribbean. We wanted to be a Caribbean destination event where the best of the world in dance and the best dancers in the Caribbean come together nestled in the Caribbean to experience, not only to dance, but to also experience how special the Caribbean is. And, I'm excited that it's at Napa. That's my dream location. So it's a lot of excitement for me. I mean, if I wish I was also dancing,
Well, Wendy, you've also lent your support as patron of the Trinidad and Tobago Gala. So tell us, how did this come about? What inspired you in to be a part of this production?
Oh, well, Marissa, in one word, we have a friend in common in Jamaica, and our friend Novia MacDonald White is the Grand Dame of Jamaican society. When Novia says jump, you jump. So last year she told me about Marissa Plie, and she introduced me to her, and what a powerhouse Marissa is in terms of her personality, her career thus far. She's a dancer and attorney, but the way in which she went about structuring Plie immediately got me on board, because it's a beautiful evening of dance, and I always enjoy dance. I mean, I started dancing ballet when I was 3.5, right? Just before my 4th birthday. And I didn't stop for many years. So I've always enjoyed it, always wherever I am in the world, gone to experience dance. And she brought that to the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago last year, and before that, for 9 years before that, to Jamaica. So it was a no-brainer. Yeah. Once I met her, I did my research, the Novia introduction. Immediately I jumped on board, because apart from a beautiful show, which it is, there is nothing more fun than spending your money and that money going to 2 or 3 courses.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like points for an airline on a credit card, right? You have a great evening of dance.
And you further cause.
Exactly. You also contribute to the development of the art form in the Caribbean and, very importantly, to the exposure of our people in the big markets globally.
Yeah. Now, Marissa, for viewers hearing about the Amalgamation Gala for the very first time, what makes this production different from a traditional dance performance?
Well, we have a slogan for Amalgamation. On Amalgamation, there is a dance for everyone. And it's a specially curated gala, unlike many galas around the world, because we select the pieces, we select the dancers, and the dancers are either soloists or principal dancers from the most acclaimed companies around the world. For example, this year we have a soloist from Alvin Ailey American Dance, not Ailey 2, but Ailey. We have the recently promoted soloist, India Bradley from New York City Ballet, the first African-American to be promoted to soloist in the history of New York City Ballet. Incidentally, this is the first time any dancer from New York City Ballet will be dancing anywhere in the Caribbean. So that is also exciting. And we have the most globally acclaimed modern contemporary dance company, and maybe the most lit dance company in the world, which is Complexions Contemporary Ballet, just founded by Desmond Richardson and Dwight Roden. And Desmond Richardson actually is the first Black dancer to be promoted to American Ballet Theatre. So it's a lot of history that will be on the stage. And we try to do that every year. And the dances that we select, we ensure, I joke a lot and we say we don't do subjective entertainment. You know, we put on a show that once you are sitting in that audience, you will enjoy it. It will be absolutely abnormal for you to come and sit through 2 hours of play and not leave with a crowd favorite. So that is what is special. You don't come and say, okay, I would like to do this. No, we select the pieces, and I dare say we select the best pieces from these companies, from these dancers. And you know, the Caribbean market, you know what will work. And you know, there's a saying, you go from the familiar to the unknown. And so you see a bit of what you know and a bit of what you don't know. So that is what makes it special.
Thank you, Marissa. Now, Wendy, you've always championed excellence on an international stage. So what does it mean now to see Trinidad and Tobago hosting an event of this caliber and serving as the launch point for a Caribbean tour?
This is the Caribbean integration that I would like to see consistently outside of sport and our politics, in starting here and of course expanding across the region. So outside of Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago was the first regional destination, and then Barbados quickly joined. And Marissa's plan is to expand across the region. We produce some of the world's greatest talent, but because our markets are small, often our talent has to leave here to be seen and appreciated. And what Marissa is doing with Plie is making sure that we are celebrated here and marrying both the international and the regional, the local at the highest standard. So this show would be just as spectacular in Prague or Lagos, Nigeria, or St. Petersburg, Russia. And that's excellence, right? If it's a production that transcends borders, but is very much us, you know, selling us to the world at our very best. That's what a Plie is. So, of course, that's why I'm on board.
Well, ladies, before we wrap up this morning, for anyone considering attending, give us the details. How can we be a part of this?
So tickets are already available, and of course you can get them online at Napa, and it's on the 23rd of August. We, as I said, first, if you miss it in Trinidad and you happen to be in Barbados in the middle of the week, there are 2 shows in Barbados, and of course 2 shows in Jamaica as well. But as I said, tickets are already on sale. Last year was our first time, and I remember very clearly Marissa being a little bit bit nervous. I said, darling, I'm a Trini. You don't worry about that. We're a little bit last minute. And the show was sold out literally the day before. We are doing very well this year, so I encourage our people, please don't do the Trini or Wendy thing and wait for the last minute.
Is that a Wendy thing too?
So, darling, I'm a Trini.
No last minute.
Not always, but sometimes.
Get your
tickets.
All right. Well, Marissa, any closing words before we go?
Yes, one exciting thing, the Caribbean Collective, which will be some of the best dancers in the region, will also include very own Trinidadian dancers, and that is a dance that we bought the license to, Bolero, and that will be played live by the Philharmonic Orchestra. Believe it or not, that is one of my most exciting pieces to see. So come out and enjoy. You'll see international and local dancers on one stage, and I'm very excited, and I'm really truly thankful to the Napa team for assisting with making this really, really a true exciting event.
All right. Well, thank you very much, ladies. We wish you all the success with the gala on Sunday, August 23rd. The information is on the screen for you. You can also follow them at Plie for the Arts on Instagram for all the details and updates. Thank you very much. It was such a pleasure having you on my set this morning, and we hope to have you soon here again.
Thanks for having us.
All right. Well, the time now, 6:55 on Trinidad and Tobago today. Thanks so much for being here. During this hour, just taking a little recap of everything that we spoke about. Professor Hamid Ghani joined us this morning. In case you missed that, we had a very critical discussion on everything happening with the Dominic and Genevieve Hadid case. Also, looking back 36 years ago with the coup that, we have so much to unpack. And of course, you can head across to TTT Live online for all that content. See you inside hour number 2 of TNT Today.
Hello everyone, I'm Pastor Lisa Singh from Heavenly Grace Ministries in New York, and I want to take this opportunity to invite you to join me right here every Sunday morning at 6:30 a.m. It has been a fantastic 2026 so far, and the Word of God has just been unraveling in ways that we can only imagine. So I don't want you to miss out. Remember, every Sunday morning, 6:30 a.m. right here. Looking forward to being with you.
Being connected, it means a lot because, first of all, you can't do this by yourself.
When you have your phone, you always have somebody at your side. I could call for help, anything going like,
I'm giving children the opportunity to experience outside of their neighborhood.
Digital is kind of a comfort, you feel good that people in your lives are always able to be contacted.
I was with the other network and I was having problems, so I joined Digicel, and I never regretted it.
Win tickets to cricket history. The men in maroon are coming home, and you could be there live. As part of the We Outside campaign, the West Indies take on Pakistan in an historic 2-match test series in Trinidad and Tobago. Watch and listen across the TTT Limited network for your chance to win tickets to the matches. Tune in to TTT's Trinidad and Tobago Today morning show, Sweet 100.1 FM, Talk City 91.1 FM, and the Next 99.1 FM. We'll be giving away tickets to both test matches, including the historic first test at Brian Lara Cricket Academy in Taruba, the venue's first ever international test match. So watch, listen, and win. West Indies versus Pakistan. The We Outside campaign continues, and your seat at the cricket could be just a call away. Watch, listen, win. West Indies versus Pakistan. Only on the TTT Limited Media Network.
We are the drum shaking. We are the drum shaking. We are the drum shaking.
What if possibility was only the beginning? Welcome to Limitless, a journey where ideas become action and action becomes impact. From breaking barriers and challenging misconceptions to designing with dignity and driving innovation with heart. This series explores how inclusion is moving from concept to community in Trinidad and Tobago. Across each episode, we meet the change makers and everyday leaders, turning challenges into opportunity, building real solutions that change real lives, from possibility to impact. This is Limitless.
Good morning. This is your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. Making the news at this time. Minister of Trade, Investment and Tourism, Satyakama Maharaj, says Trinidad and Tobago's exports to Ghana have surged by more than 1,000% in 2025, underscoring the strengthening trade relationship between the two countries and creating new opportunities for local exporters and investors. Speaking at the Transatlantic Trade and Investment Symposium, Minister Maharaj revealed that exports to Ghana rose from an export surplus of TT $2.4 million to TT $39 million.
This diversified export profile underscores the competitiveness of our manufacturing sector and our capacity to supply high-quality products to the Ghanaian market. As we pursue opportunities for SMEs from Trinidad and Tobago and Ghana, Trinidad and Tobago remains firmly committed to creating an enabling environment for business growth, shared culture and heritage, tourism investment, and international trade.
To further strengthen bilateral economic relations, he noted that government is in the final stages of implementing a reciprocal investment protection agreement with Ghana.
Bilateral investment treaty will further strengthen investor confidence by providing a stable, transparent, and predictable framework for investment, and will provide Trinidad and Tobago's SMEs, businesses, and manufacturers with greater access to Ghana's dynamic economy, valued at more than $75 billion and the home to almost 36 million people.
The discussions from the symposium were guided by the theme, Building Trade Beyond Borders, Opportunities for SMEs from Trinidad and Tobago and Ghana. In other news, a new policy aimed at expanding opportunities for students and graduates to gain hands-on workplace experience before entering the job market has been approved by Cabinet. The Minister of Tertiary Education and Skills Training, Professor Prakash Prasad, says the initiative is designed to better prepare young people for the workforce while helping employers meet their demand for workers with practical, job-ready skills.
Recently got approved by Cabinet an apprenticeship policy where people, the skills training can be work in the industry whilst they're doing their diplomas, etc. We want to do the same at the university level. You look at doctors, for instance. You do the MBBS, but then you need to do an internship before you can work in hospital. So we want, like, all graduates to actually have some degree of internship training before they go into industry.
Minister Prasad also said the apprenticeship program is expected to modernize skills training by creating nationally recognized qualifications.
So the apprenticeship program, they work in industry, and we are recommending that the National Trade Agency replace the Board of Industrial Training. So all apprenticeships would be recognized, and furthermore, not only recognized here, but recognized in the Caribbean and elsewhere. And what we're also looking at for this sort of apprenticeship, whether you're electrical or mechanical or whatever field, like plumbing, whatever, that we want to recognize the certificates.
He said discussions are also underway to establish a national register for skilled trades and technical professionals. This will allow employers to verify workers' qualifications and professional standards. In some sport now, Prisons Service FC now know their opponents in round of 16 of the 2026 Caribbean Football Union Club Shield, where they will come up against Guyana champion Slingers FC. This comes after Slingers defeated SWA Sharks 4-0 in their first round match at the Atabolden Stadium. Scoring the fourth goal in the 84th minute was TNT forward Daryl Garcia. Prisons and Slingers will now meet on Saturday at the Hasely Crawford Stadium from 3:30 p.m. In other first-round results on Thursday, Grenada's St. John's FC got past Dublin FC by a comfortable 3-1 scoreline. And that's what's making the news at this time. When we come back after the break, it's hour number 2 of Trinidad and Tobago Today. Stay tuned.
Your heart, brain, and body work hard every day. Give them the support they deserve with omega-3. Packed with essential fatty acids, omega-3 helps support heart health, brain function, and overall wellness. Whether you're staying active, focused, or simply living life to the fullest, live healthier with omega-3. Wellness that works from within. Tune in to Wellness Unlocked on TTT Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9:45 a.m.
Every village has a story. Every tradition has a voice. This July 16th to August 1st, discover them all at the 2026 Tobago Heritage Festival. This year's theme, Let We Tell the Whole Story, invites you to experience the customs, resilience, and rich cultural legacy that continue to define Tobago. Join us for unforgettable performances, village celebrations, and authentic cultural experiences across the island. The Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Let we tell the whole story. Visit TobagoFestivalsCommission.com for event details.
Who says you have to wait until December? This July, TTT brings the warmth, wonder, and magic of Christmas in July. Escape into heartwarming Christmas movies every weekend, filled with love, laughter, family, romance, and unforgettable holiday moments. Then keep the celebration going with spectacular musical entertainment featuring beloved local performers, festive concerts, and inspiring performances from both young and established talent. It's the perfect reason to gather the family, make lasting memories, and celebrate the joy of the season right in the middle of the year. Christmas in July, all month long, only on TTT and ttt.live/stream.
Welcome back to the show. Now, he made history as one of the Trinidad and Tobago entertainers selected to perform at official FIFA World Cup 2026 fan events in Houston and Los Angeles, bringing Caribbean energy to football's biggest celebration. And now that the tournament has come to an end, he's back to reflect on an unforgettable experience, the highlights, the music that had the fans moving, and what comes next. Well, joining us now is DJ Anarchy. Welcome back to the program. Oh, actually, it's good to have you in studio. Wow, how amazing is that?
Yeah,
the last time you joined me was on Zoom. And where were you then?
I was actually in my house.
Yeah, which is not here. So now he is here on site with us, and we could not let you go back home without joining us. So I have to say congratulations once again.
Thank you, thank you.
So now that the World Cup is over, how would you describe the entire experience for us?
It's truly mind blowing. You know, truly an amazing experience, once in a lifetime experience. You know, and I'm really grateful to be a part of that journey.
Yeah. So what was going through your mind the first time you stepped behind the decks at the official FIFA World Cup events?
Honestly, I was just ready to rock out. I was like, yo,
No
okay,
nerves?
I'm ready to turn up. No nerves. Oh, wow. You know when you DJ been DJing for so long, you know, and doing a lot of these like stadiums and stuff, you know, and that magnitude, it's like after a while it's like normal.
Yeah.
You know, but still again, you know, it's the greatest stage in the world,
to
you know,
perform
FIFA.
for football. So did you attend any of the actual games and really, you know, lock in, and do you support a side? Were you there for the football too?
Well, you know, us in Trinidad, well, I don't know about you, but me and most Trinidadians, you know, we are Brazil.
Okay.
Right? Well, obviously Trinidad
Also
and Tobago first. You know, definitely Trinidad and Tobago first. And second, you know, Brazil.
I'm
You know,
hearing
so
laughs. Is that's true or not true?
Say what?
I'm hearing laughs here. They're saying yes, that's absolutely true. I also know that we're very much bandwagonists. So
yes, you know.
So that was your team.
Yeah, Brazil, you know, Brazil.
Okay.
Brazil, definitely. Brazil and France.
Right.
Yeah.
So what were some of the biggest highlights of your experience there from the tournament, both on and off the stage? Anything memorable?
Well, definitely off stage, you know, definitely witnessing Cristiano Ronaldo scoring his first goal of the actual World Cup tournament, you know, because the first time he scored was at the Houston Stadium, you know. So, and I was so lucky to actually capture it on my phone. As soon as I pull out my phone and start a videotape, goal score.
And you were
know?
at both stadia. You were at Houston and LA.
Los Angeles, yes.
Wow.
Stadiums, yeah.
So they commute between both. So what were the dates? Were they very close together? So you had to quickly go between both of them?
Yes, definitely. So I did 5 games at the Houston Stadium, and I did 2 games at LA Stadium. So yes, the two games at LA Stadium, definitely, you know, like one day I'm over here in LA, and then, you know, right after I'm DJ, catch a flight back to Houston in the morning.
At you
Houston
living the
Stadium.
life.
Back next week again, same thing, LA, back to Houston. Yes.
Now, let me ask you a personal question. Did you ever, you know, when you were in that moment, did you ever think that you would be there? Like, you know, when you were growing up, to just be a part of something this grand, how did that feel?
Man, you know, honestly, growing up, you know, sometimes, you know, you feel that itch. You know, you feel like, you know, there's greater things out there, you know, destined for you, right? But to actually think it would be to be a part of the FIFA World Cup, you know, I never thought, you know, it would be a...
Did you spot any Trinis there?
Yes, I did. Actually, yes, I did.
Okay.
We had some Trinis there, you know, and it's so crazy, right? The only time I realized they were Trinis was when I started playing soca music. And then they started coming out of the woodworks, you know, they whining and singing, and they like, you from what you know about this music?
Yes.
I'm like, what you know about this music? They say, I Trini. I say, well, guess what? I'm Trini too.
So speaking of soca, what were your sets like?
Definitely sets were open format sets.
Okay.
Right? Very diverse, because, you know, the crowd, very diverse crowd. So, you know, I had to sprinkle a little bit of everything.
Were you given any mandate about what you needed to play?
Yes, definitely. You know, we had to play, of course, the official FIFA soundtracks and everything. And in addition to that, you know, we were given free range to play everything else, you know, high energy vibe. Obviously, I played some soca music, you know, and everything, soca, dancehall, reggaeton, everything.
What was the response like? Not just the Trinis or the Caribbean people, but what about the wider world? How did they love the soca music?
They loved it. They loved it, you know, because it's pretty similar to EDM, you know, and house music.
High energy, BPM.
High energy, high BPM, you know what I mean? Just fun, festive. Party vibe, you know. So
that must have been so much fun.
It surely was.
Now, just being able to take soca music as well to the world, that is also a very huge achievement. Now, did you have any interactions with any, you know, football players or any fans or any celebrities or even just fellow DJs that would stay with you for a long time?
Yes, I did. So, well, firstly, I bounced up I Show Speed.
Right.
Very briefly in the elevator, right? Didn't really have much of a long conversation, just kind of hail up real quick, you know, because, you know, his security was rushing him to go where he got to go. My security was escorting me also to where we got to go. You know, I had the pleasure of actually meeting DeMarcus Beasley. You know, he's actually an ex-USA national player. So, you know, got to vibe with him and hang with him a little bit, you know, and, you know, just hang with, you know, like other dignitaries and, you know, different, you know, a lot of different people from all around the world. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, it was definitely great meeting and experiencing, you know, their culture and talking with them, vibing with them, and just having fun with them, you know.
We're seeing some videos here on the screen. So this is you at the official event.
Yes, this is me right here. Yes, yeah.
Wow, I love this. Look at you. Hey, Mom, I made it. And how did your family and your friends and your supporters respond to all of this?
Well, you know, just overwhelming support and love. You know, and my parents, you know, they were really proud. And for me, you know, one of my mission in life is to make my parents and my family proud. You know, because they sacrifice so much, you know, to give us, you know, a good life. So, you know, the least I could do is repay the favor by.
Tell me about your Trini roots. Where did you grow up here? Where were you born? When did you leave?
So born and raised in Moruga.
Look at that.
Born and raised in Moruga. Shout out to Moruga if you're watching. Big up yourself. Moruga, Princess-Town area. You know, then moved, you know, to New Grant, Princess-Town. You know, that's where resided. You know, attended St. Stephen's College. Big up to St. Stephen's College every time from Princess-Town. You know, and so I actually left Trinidad in 2015 to move to Houston with just one suitcase, one small suitcase of clothing, and my DJ mixer, and just big dreams, you know?
Yeah. And then, you know, how did it go for you from then?
Well, from then, you know...
Well, look at it going great now!
As you see, you know, but, you know, not everything was a bed of roses, of course. You know, you have to apply yourself, stay focused, you know, and put in the work, you know, and obviously, you know, you're going to have the little roadblocks here and there, but, you know, you just got to stay resilient and, you know, just keep pushing through, you know.
So in terms of the soca music that you played, what was the hottest hit you think that was the biggest hit with everyone?
Honestly, it was actually two tunes they were really feeling. Well, honestly, they were feeling everything, right? Okay. But Denise Belfon work.
Yes.
They are very familiar with that. So obviously
so
Denise Belfon work, right? So many samples.
Yeah.
So that's automatic forwards, right? Kess, Savannah Grass.
Seriously.
Yes, they liked it because Savannah Grass, you know.
Yeah.
And also MX Prime, Meet Me at the Stadium.
Really?
Yes, you know, because it's fitting, you know, the vibe. Meet me at the stadium.
Okay.
You know, yeah, because I mean, we are the stadium.
And now you probably have a bunch of people going to look this up on YouTube and say, there was this guy at this FIFA event and he was playing this song and I think it goes like this.
Yeah.
And then they're Googling all the words, eventually finding their way to soca music.
Yes.
And you have just opened a whole new door and, you know, just widened the market and the audience for soca music. So again, for that, thank you very much.
Truly appreciate it.
I don't know if you understand how great of an opportunity that was, and I'm sure you do, but we're so proud of you, and I hope you know that.
Thank you. Truly appreciate y'all.
So what's next for you?
So, you know, just moving around, you know, definitely connecting and touching the youth, you know, just spreading positive vibes, you know, being like a symbol of hope for them, you know, showing them that, hey, anything is possible, no matter where you come from.
Yeah.
You know, and also me and Azaria, aka Flippo, we're actually working on a project to take our Trinidadian and Caribbean music.
I feel like you don't want to give away
globally.
too much.
I don't want to give away too much yet.
Okay, that's fine.
But definitely when it's launched, I would love to come back and discuss in more detail and play some music for you all, you know?
I don't mind that at all. So, did you get any goodies from the World Cup? Did you get any
Yes, I did.
goodie bags, any merch, any, you know, maybe T-shirts?
Yes, I did.
Yes,
I did. Yes, I got some stuff. Yeah, I got some official like FIFA merch and
I'm
some
sure
gifts
you
and
got
stuff. Yeah.
back here and you went to Morugo, Princess-Town, everybody. So, bring anything for me?
Well, the thing is, I haven't reached as yet. I'm about to go Saturday.
Seriously?
Yeah, so I'm about to go there Saturday because, you know, as soon as I touch down, I've been just doing a lot of interviews every day, like 4 or 5 interviews.
What made you come back home after this? You needed a reset?
Yes, for a quick reset, and, you know, definitely just, you know, coming to just touch ground, you know, and, you know, again, just reach out to the youth and just spread positive vibes, you know what I mean?
Speaking of the youth, what message now would you leave with our young people of Trinidad and Tobago? You know, they have big dreams.
Yes.
And they would never think that they would end up on a stage like that, but you have proven that that is something that you can achieve. What would you say to them?
I would say, man, you know, just believe in yourself, you know, stay humble, do good business, you know, take your time to build genuine relationships, and just take risk.
Yeah. What about the power of social media, which is how you got your break as well?
Use social media too. You know, that's the best free tool.
Mhm.
You know, you
And
have
how
at
would you
your
tell
hands.
them to actually use social media that could work for them?
I would say, you know, stay consistent. Stay consistent. You know, have a plan, have a direction on what you're trying to do with it, and definitely, you know, stay consistent and, you know, try to keep your content as high quality as possible.
And
you
what
know?
about the young and upcoming DJs? What would you tell them this morning to keep
Man,
them going?
I would tell them, hey, dream big, you know, and sky's the limit.
Yeah.
You know, anything is possible. Yeah.
Sky's the limit. Well, thank you very much, DJ Anarchy, for being here with us. As I told you, we are so proud of you, and it was wonderful catching up with you, especially after all of this. And we are very proud that you are part of Trinidad and Tobago
Thank you so
today
much.
as well. Well, we get ready to take a short break. The time now, it is 19 minutes after 7 o'clock on Trinidad and Tobago Today.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
Why is Talk City 91.1 FM the leading talk station in Trinidad and Tobago? Because nobody delivers conversations like we do. Start your mornings with Ground Report. Andy Pitbull Williams, Lennox Smith, and Nigel Snipes setting the agenda from 6 to 9 a.m. Then it's Off the Record with Stefan Reese and Mr. X, Fearless Talk, and the issues everybody's discussing. Stay connected with Sharon. Take it front with Officer Shabadi. Go beyond limits with Roland Stewart. Drive home with Heavy Duty and David Welch on Under the Radar. And wrap up your day with Kingsley and OB on The Wrap Up. Real talk, real people, real Trinidad and Tobago. Listen live on Talk City 91.1 FM and follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Talk City 91.1 FM, the #1 talk station in Trinidad and Tobago.
Coming up, Barbados kicks off festival season with Crop Over, where you can live like a local. Moments of discovery and joy during Culinary Month in Antigua and Barbuda. Find that hero within you. As these women of vision share their stories of success, it's Caribbean Passport TV on TTT, Tuesday at 8 p.m.
I'm Jamila Bannister, host of the Socially Safe podcast, the new TTPS podcast where we share real stories, teach real lessons, and create real impact. From online safety and youth crime to community policing and personal responsibility, we go beyond the headlines and talk about what's happening in our communities with the officers and experts who are on the front lines. Because safety starts with awareness, conversation, and action. Tune in to the Socially Safe podcast on the TTPS YouTube channel, listen on Apple Podcasts, and on Spotify. Don't miss it.
Watch on TTT, Mondays, 6 p.m., Tuesdays, 1:10 p.m.
Art has the power to preserve history, spark conversation, and inspire future generations. And for decades, Queen's Royal College has nurtured some of Trinidad and Tobago's most accomplished artists. And that remarkable legacy is now being celebrated through the QRC Art Legacy Exhibition. honoring our foundation's generations of art. The exhibition brings together works from distinguished past students while raising funds to refurbish the QRC art room, ensuring that today's students have the resources to continue that proud artistic tradition. And joining us this morning are two of the featured artists, Gerald Hines and Patrick Roberts. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Thank you for being here on this early and beautiful Friday morning and bringing your art with you as well. Now, Queen's Royal College has produced generations of accomplished artists. What does it mean to both of you now to be a part of an exhibition that celebrates that kind of legacy?
Well, for me, I hear you describing accomplished artists. I'm actually a doctor who started painting 6 years ago. So I wouldn't count myself among the ranks, but it's an honor to be amongst my fellow QRC alumni.
Yeah. What about you?
I'm the reverse. I decided when I was at QRC in the third form I wanted to be an artist, and I followed that path as a graphic artist, as a carnival costume designer, as a painter. I have taught, I have traveled, and I still do it.
Yeah. Now, looking back on your time in school, who or what had the greatest influence on your development as an artist?
One of the elder alive artists at the show is Donald Jackie Hinkson. He was our art teacher, and if I can claim, or if I can lay claim to one person who would have helped me to understand what being an artist is, it would have been him. And then I became the first student to do A-level art at QRC. There were no timetables, but I suppose I'm a pushy kind of guy. So he would say, go over in the savannah and paint, go over the savannah and draw. So the rest of the school is indoors, and I had to deal with sun, rain, kobo, stray dog, you know, but it was fun.
Fighting the elements.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, you were a doctor, and then 6 years ago went to art. Now, what inspired that? What would have happened to say, okay, I'm going to go do this art thing 6 years ago?
I now had oodles of time on my hands. My children are grown adults.
Okay.
Time on my hands, less work. What do I do with it? I asked my sister to find some art classes for me. She did so, and I was able to link with a wonderful teacher in QREP, Mrs. Howard.
Yeah.
And that's where it started. And since then, Mrs. Howard and Patrick Roberts have pushed, cajoled, guided me. So here I am 6 years later.
Now, I see you've brought some of your art that you claimed you started 6 years ago. I don't think it was 6 years ago.
Thank you.
So, yeah, you see, I feel like there's a little bit of a lie in there. But can we see your art now? Because
Sure.
that does not look like somebody who started 6 years ago. Look at that, how absolutely beautiful. Can you
Thank
describe
you.
this piece for us?
Yeah, this is Cruising, Shagaramas. A friend of mine, her husband is a photographer.
Okay.
I saw this wonderful shot here, and I decided I would try to paint it. It wasn't easy. It took a long time, but I got there. I think.
Wow, that is lovely. And
Thank
you have
you.
another piece as well.
Of course.
I don't know why you're saying 6 years ago. Look at this. Ladies and gentlemen, look at this piece and just tell me this is not magnificent. Just look at that. Wow. Describe it. Well, I mean, this one is self-explanatory, but go ahead.
The alma mater. The alma mater. I had to pay homage and bring a piece that showed my alma mater.
I love the red. I love the shade of red. It is stunning. And even the skies. And you captured the trees so well. Look at me being a art connoisseur all of a sudden this morning. It is absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you for showing us that. And I think you have some art here with us as well.
I do.
Would you like to show that to us?
So
Wow.
this painting is called Advocacy.
Okay. Tell me about it.
I have glaucoma. I have no sight in my right eye. And when that happened, I asked the Lord, really? Think about a visual artist who is losing his
What
sight.
an irony.
Yes. And then the message came that I needed to become an advocate for eye care in general, and glaucoma in particular, because glaucoma is the leading cause of blindness in Trinidad, and Trinidad and Tobago, and the second leading cause of blindness worldwide. So my eye doctor is still mystified that I can paint because she says I just don't have the eye facility to be able to do what I'm doing. I guess it's a work of the Lord.
But it is stunning.
So this is my series from last night. Every I do a series, I start up by showing the work in World Glaucoma Week, which is the second week in March. And this series came out from Odyssey, so I use Homer's Odyssey, and to talk about my journey with glaucoma. And this is one of the paintings at the end of the journey.
You have another for us?
Yes. This one is called the polyphemus effect. If you know, or for those who know about the Greek heroes, they would know that Odysseus blinded Polyphemus to get out of the cave, and he incurred the wrath of the sea god Poseidon, who was Polyphemus' father. So, Polyphemus was a cyclops with one eye in the middle of his head. And when Odysseus blinded him, he was enraged. That was part of my journey. The rage that came with losing my sight that I had to overcome.
Yeah. Wow, such a great meaning, profound meaning in these paintings, and I love the story behind it. So let's talk about the exhibition now. It's the theme of the exhibition is honoring our foundation's generations of art. What do you think about that theme, and how do you feel now to be a part of this?
I'm the curator of the exhibition. So the challenge was to, well, there are a number of challenges, and we still have some of those, including having to pay cut for a dancehall license. I don't understand why, right? Because of what I understand cut is and what I understand a dancehall license to be. But we had to pay $1,554 for a dancehall license for paintings for an art exhibition that doesn't really include music or dancing or dancehall. And that's just one of the many challenges we've had to overcome. But I guess such is life. So we have in the exhibition five QRC artists who are no longer on this side of life. The two older brothers, Geoffrey and Bosco, Noel Vercrossen, Hingman and Harry Bryden. And then we have a number of older artists like Peter Minshall, Jackie Hinkson, right? Coming all the way down through us into the youngest one, who is Marcus O'Malley Ellis. He graduated from QRC last year. He got an Island Scholarship for Art, and he's off to school abroad in September. The journey really, this leg of the journey started after QRC Fed. They did a focus group, and they spoke about legacy, and we jumped on that. The chair for our thing is Dr. Brian Harry, and we jumped on that. We have over 150 pieces in the show. The opening night saw, again, maybe the number 150, over 150 guests. And people were blown away by what we were able to accomplish.
Wow. Now, I know that the exhibition will serve a larger purpose. You're raising funds as well to refurbish the QRC art room. So that's an incredible task. And I know that investing in creative spaces like this for young people is very important, especially from where you both sit. And so did you study art at all in school?
Up to third form. And again, under the hand of Jackie Hinkson. So there's a connection, there's a thread running through with Patrick and the others. Jackie Hinkson.
And those 3 years in school doing art led to all of this, where you are just denying us how great your work is. Now, looking at today's young artists, what advice would you give to students who may have that talent, but they're unsure whether or not they want to pursue art, or if it's a realistic career for them?
Artists run the world. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
We tell people that this is the car for you. We tell you where to go and get it. We tell you how much it costs, and we tell you how to use it. We tell you that this brand is better than this brand. Whether it's true or not is not the point, right? And there are so many areas you can go in. This particular jacket is from one of our artists. He lives abroad, and these are the things he creates. So I thought we are all year mates, G, as we call him, Larry Fraser, whose stuff I'm wearing, and we went into QRC in 1969.
Wow.
And we are still friends.
Would you mind telling us what year you graduated?
I left I'm not sure if I ever graduated, but they put me out of school in 1977.
And same.
76.
76. So you were just a year apart, and you knew each other back then as well.
Yeah.
And friendship that has lasted that long. What's the secret to that friendship?
Well, I suppose it's a blue blood.
It is.
Simply put, and I'm not going to deny that.
Yes. So, and again, as part of my work as a curator, is to help uplift people. So when I first saw his work, he was always shy in school, and he's still, in a sense, shy.
Very much.
So we're still trying to pull him out of that, and the work belies the 6-year story that he's talking about.
Yes. Absolutely. Well, gentlemen, finally, just tell us, about the exhibition or the details. How can we be a part of this before we go?
The exhibition is free. It's at the Napa Hotel. Most people don't know that there's a hotel in Napa.
I did not know that as well. I just found that out, actually.
So it's on you enter on the Frederick Street side or the eastern side. The exhibition is on the western side. You come up the stairs, you'll get a guided tour through the exhibition by David Lee, who for the most part, another one of the artists in the exhibition. Some artists are in the show. And we walk you through the art, which is for sale, and then you exit through the gift shop. Come, purchase, support.
Yes.
Come and purchase and support. I love those words. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me. And congratulations on helping to celebrate such an important chapter in TNT's artistic history. Have a great one. We'll see you. The exhibition runs from July 22nd to the 30th at Napa. As they said, you can find all of this again at TTT Live online. The time now, 7:35 a.m. in Trinidad and Tobago. We take a quick break and come back.
Being connected, it means a lot because, first of all, you can't do this by yourself.
When you have your phone, you always have somebody at your side. I could call for help, anything going on,
I'm giving children the opportunity to experience outside of their neighborhood.
Digital is kind of a comfort, you feel good that people in your lives are always able to be contacted.
I was with the other network, and I was having problems, so I joined Digicel, and I never regretted it.
This August, join TTT as we celebrate emancipation through a month of culture, history, and entertainment. In collaboration with the Emancipation Support Committee of Trinidad and Tobago, experience the Pan-African Festival as it unfolds across your screens. Beginning with the historic Emancipation Ceremony, live from downtown Port of Spain on August 1st, Emancipation Day, TTT brings you a month-long lineup of festival highlights, including the Youth Band Extravaganza, Pan-African Night Concert, Unity Reggae Concert, and much more. Delve into our history, heritage, and the contributions of our African descendants through powerful documentaries that preserve stories of resilience, identity, and legacy. Plus, enjoy a selection of entertaining films and dramatic stories to round out your viewing experience. This August, connect with the culture, the stories, and the moments on TTT and ttt.live/stream.
There are a number of risk factors for heart disease, so a lot of attention has to be put towards preventive cardiology. What can we do to reduce the burden due to all these risk factors? Hypertension, diabetes, cholesterol, need to stop cigarette smoking, you gotta get people exercising.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Find anybody special yet?
To answer your question, no. No boyfriend, no prospects, no nothing. Okay?
Hey everybody, Mike Avery here.
It's kind of cute. If Mike Avery asked me out, I would say, yeah.
You're DMing Mike Avery?
She said she'd go out with him. I set up a fake profile. I want you to take my sister out.
2 minutes to go in the fort. You know how important that is? You know what I'm saying?
Being in person is so different.
You said it was what you wanted.
You are my Christmas wish.
Next level of radio. Wake up! This is The Link Up with Next 99.1 FM.
Well, you know, each and every Friday we connect with Next 99.1 FM to bridge that gap between radio and TV. And we get to bring you a little bit of the weekend vibe from the guys in the studio. This is The Link Up. Good morning, Fro and team. How are you today?
Morning, V. How are you today? I'm in that kind of mood. You see how I'm in my shades, eh?
I see that.
I'm in my shades because you're blinding me with your beauty right now.
Did you rehearse that?
What's that?
Did you rehearse that?
Rehearsal? No. Rehearsal is from when I'm performing live on stage. This is all natural, girl.
Okay. I understand that somebody left their pass at home this morning from your studio. I don't know who it could be.
Very low blow. I'm disappointed.
But I'm glad that he was let in eventually.
So what's happening? How's the weekend looking for you?
It looks like it's going to be a quiet one. I'm trying to do very little this weekend. I'm exhausted. You know, just doing too much in general. But hopefully I can get some rest. What about you guys? What are you going to be doing now that football is over?
Well, I was just about to say that. I mean, I have the little tabanka right now, the FIFA tabanka.
Sorry.
I mean, yeah. But we're
so
looking
sorry.
Forward. I saw that the CONCACAF draw. Yesterday they had the draw for the teams, the nations. So we're gonna touch on that later on in our shift here. But so we have that to look forward to.
And what about the music? How has it been going? What's trending this week in terms of the songs? What are the listeners, requesting?
Well, let me play for you. Yeah, can we play one? Can we play one for you?
If it's local, maybe a quick.
All right, so here it goes. Let's go.
I saw your second ships.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Listen, you all bring the sunshine every single morning. I'm still stuck on funds. I have to tell you that, and I think I'm convincing everyone to be, stuck on funds as well.
That's fine.
Guys, it's a very profound song if you think about it. Allow me for a second. Girls want to have funds because they make their own funds and they get up every single day and they work very hard and they go out there and they get the funds.
Yes.
Yeah. And with that in mind, I have to say a very special good morning to all the ladies on my team, my incredible team. We have a great lineup of ladies who always work behind the scenes to ensure everything's moving well. We have a well-oiled machine. So I love those ladies and they want to have funds and they have funds.
See that you're on that note with funds. We're gonna play this one for you right now. Before we
Thank you.
Switch off. This is all yours, Virmala. All yours. Let's go.
You know what? That was for my team. That was for my incredible team. You know what? I won't respond to my director right now. But thank you, gentlemen, for being here with me today. What about any exciting plans for the weekend?
Right, so I'm not going to tell you. We don't forget we have the birthday party. It's happening in exactly 15 minutes. So
whose birthday party is it?
Everybody's.
We usually do a live on air birthday celebration for folks, all our listeners, every Friday at 8:00. So we invite folks, to contribute something, whether it's a drink of choice, some treats, some puffs. Somebody said they're bringing mangoes. I don't know for what.
For real or just pledge? Like real, like actual?
Yeah.
I'll make a contribution one of these days.
All right.
I'll pledge a little something.
All right, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
All
right, guys, have a beautiful day. Thanks for joining me. Tell Shaq I said hi, and I do miss hearing him. Look at that. Hi, Shaq.
Yeah.
I thought you didn't like me anymore, but hey, now that we're all good. Have a wonderful weekend, gentlemen. I'll see you next Friday.
Thank you so much. Take care.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
Okay,
that was the Link Up with Next 99.1 FM.
You hear that? Woo! The new class. Next level of radio. Wake up! This is the Link Up with Next 99.1 FM.
Resilient, brave, worthy. 12 majestic women, 12 majestic journeys. Majestic Makeover Season 3, coming soon to TTT. And TTT Live Online.
Majestic Makeover Season 3 is powered by We Outside, exclusively on Talk City 91.1 FM. The men in maroon are coming home. It's the We Outside campaign, the 2026 international home season for the West Indies men's cricket team. And the final leg of the home season takes place right here in Trinidad and Tobago. Talk City 91.1 FM is proud to hold the exclusive radio broadcast rights for the two-match test series between the West Indies and Pakistan from July 25th to July 29th. History will be made as the Brian Lara Cricket Academy in Taruba hosts its first ever international test match, a landmark moment for cricket in Trinidad and Tobago. Then the action shifts to the iconic Queen's Park Oval for the second test from August 2nd to the 6th. Every session, every wicket, every century, every moment. Follow the West Indies, the men in maroon, as they battle Pakistan in a historic test series. We Outside, exclusive ball-by-ball coverage, updates, analysts, and commentary, only on Talk City 91.1 FM, the home of cricket conversation. Talk City 91.1 FM, where the men in maroon live.
We are the ground shaking. We are the ground shaking. We are the ground shaking. Shaking.
There are a number of risk factors for heart disease, so a lot of attention has to be put towards preventive cardiology. What can we do to reduce the burden due to all these risk factors? Hypertension, diabetes, cholesterol, need to stop cigarette smoking, you gotta get people exercising.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
We need to have a fundraising event to raise some money for the children's clinic.
Just think about all those kiddies at the clinic.
You probably don't even know that you're smiling.
Like boy, so charming.
Well, this morning, Carrie and I were reminiscing on the time that we filmed a Right Here, and we're saving that for you next week because, you know, I'm not ready to go through that embarrassment about losing Carrie in the bushes once again. But I do have an installment for you now of Right Here where Carrie really does his thing, and this time we're heading to a repo.
There's a type of excitement you experience when you strike out on an adventure when you don't quite know what you're going to find. Sure, pictures on the internet illustrate specific expectations, but it is not until your 2 feet are planted somewhere, you breathe the air and see it with your own 2 eyes, that you can really appreciate the fullness of that moment. What qualifies as an adventure may differ from person to person, but the common thread here is going into the unknown, and Trinidad has no shortage of sequestered gems. The Heights of Aripo is a rural settlement, tucked at the foot of the highest point of our island, Mount El Cerro del Aripo. The area is dotted with residential properties and a few sprawling homesteads, but it is nature's dominion. This becomes more evident the further one proceeds along the Heights of Aripo Road, which starts its incline early, revealing a deep valley carved between the mountains. At its heart, the Aripo River snakes its way toward the south with its incessant flow. This is what we have set out to find. We are in the midst of the forest of Aripo, and this descent behind me leads to what is known as the Aripo Lower Basin. It is clean, it is clear, and it is beautiful. So we're going to take an adventure today, but this one should be a short one, as maps have it, just a few minutes to get to that beautiful spot. So let's go. Already on this trail, there seems to be divergent paths, but so far it looks like they all meet back with each other. So have no fear. It is a pretty straightforward one, and we're going to continue, and I can already hear the water. And in about 5, maybe 10 minutes, if so much, we are here at Aripo Lower Basin. It almost feels like cheating to get to somewhere so nice in such a short space of time. But just look at it. Look at Aripo Basin in all its glory. One thing though, when it's easy to get to, a lot of people can get to here easily, and unfortunately we're seeing a lot of garbage around. So if you are going to visit, please come with your garbage bags, take whatever you bring with you, back out with you to keep the place looking as beautiful as possible. Garbage aside, the scene here is breathtaking, and very much like the terrain, its allure is layered. Here, there are several pools, some shallow, and its most prominent, the deepest. Falls filter through limestone rock, their crystalline streams endlessly feeding their basins. The surrounding foliage also plays its part in making the area so sublime. With my feet planted in this place and the opportunity to relish in a moment that feels sacred, I would encourage you not to take my word for it, but to go and breathe it all in for yourself. I'm Carrie Roberts, giving you a glimpse into the paradise we have right here.
Thank you, Carrie. Well, another highlight on the calendar for the Tobago Heritage Festival is Natural Treasures Day in Charlottesville. Now, this is an immersive experience where visitors get to experience aspects of traditional village life, like dancing the cocoa, women washing their clothes by the river, and dirt oven bread baking. Yummy. Here's more from Candace Jackson.
Every year, Charlottesville welcomes hundreds of visitors to its village in the northernmost part of the island, eager to experience a glimpse of Tobago's past. This year was no different, with patrons joining the procession from Fort Campbellton to the music of drums and tambour bamboo while singing traditional folk songs. Along the route, there were several stops, such as the deadbed, a ritual where the dirty linen of clothing from the deceased is removed from the home and taken to the river to be washed and dried, all while trading village gossip and washing their face with alcohol to keep the evil spirits away. Another step and a highlight for many is the dancing of the cocoa. Chief Secretary Fali Augustine led the cocoa dancing with Miss World TNT 2025, Georgia Lee Gill, marking her first experience of Natural Treasures Day.
It's been everything I could have ever thought of and dreamed of and more. It was such an excellent experience coming here and meeting the community, talking, sharing stories and learning the history of Tobago. This was wonderful, honestly, and the highlight was doing that dance up there. Like, I've never done that before and I just felt so connected to everything.
The immersive cocoa experience is also a favorite for the Chief Secretary, who takes part every year.
And at one point, it used to be a king crop here in Tobago, and we hope we could get that rejuvenated. And so the heritage points us to a past where we utilize the cocoa beans. Before all of these fancy companies abroad were doing it, we were doing it here.
Other attractions include baking bread in the traditional dirt ovens, sawing wood in the saw pit, and squeezing sugar cane to make juice at the batty mill. Vendors also line the streets offering lots of traditional food to patrons. Despite the hot and humid conditions, visitors enthusiastically embraced the cultural displays, music, and historical reenactments.
Really fun to experience all the different parts of it, from the how you make the cocoa to the women washing in the river, the drumming, the history about everything. The island, this has been amazing.
It's beautiful. Everybody's happy, and you see a lot of what everybody's doing, and you get a real feel of the whole experience. So I love it. We're really enjoying it. It's beautiful.
There were a lot of people who make the trek every year, such as Father Leslie Tanghai, who continues to return long after completing his tenure in Tobago.
It's one of the best activities, and it's really an authentic repercussion of what we lived in the past. So I will always celebrate Charleville heritage.
For Chief Secretary Farley Augustine, who is also the Assembly member for the area, Natural Treasures Day remains one of the festival's most significant events, which highlights the resilience of Tobagonians.
We were once taught that the way we lived, that was uncivilized. But what you get to see is how people use nature, use what they had in their hands, and how they sustainably lived alongside the environment.
Candace Jackson, TTT News.
Thank you, Candace. For all the stories that you saw here today and more, head across to TTT Live online and at TNT Today Show. All our social media channels are on the screen for you now. And also, if you want to reach out to us, maybe with a story idea, a press release, maybe you want to collab with us and through our sister stations as well, Talk City, Sweet, and Next, all you have to do is send us an email. Our email address, it's tttoday@ttt.co.tt, and you can be a part of the conversation that's shaping our nation. Also, if you want to get your birthdays in, head across to our social media pages. On the screen for you now, you get all the information on how you can submit all of your birthday greetings. Well, thanks for joining us today. Thanks to all the guests who were a part of Trinidad and Tobago Today this week. Next week, Friday, we have a very special Emancipation Day show in store for you. We don't want you to miss that. And of course, we'll see you here Monday, where we do this all over again from 6 to 8. As usual, thank you to my amazing team, always putting in the hard work to ensure that everything goes off smoothly. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
This August, join TTT as we celebrate emancipation through a month of culture, history, and entertainment. In collaboration with the Emancipation Support Committee of Trinidad and Tobago, experience the Pan-African Festival as it unfolds across your screens. Beginning with the historic Emancipation Ceremony, live from downtown Port of Spain on August 1st, Emancipation Day, TTT brings you a month-long lineup of festival highlights, including the Youth Pan Extravaganza, Pan-African Night Concert, Unity Reggae Concert, and much more. Delve into our history, heritage, and the contributions of our African descendants through powerful documentaries that preserve stories of resilience, identity, and legacy. Plus, enjoy a selection of entertaining films and dramatic stories to round out your viewing experience. This August, connect with the culture, the stories, and the moments on TTT and ttt.live/train.
Why is Talk City 91.1 FM the leading talk station in Trinidad and Tobago? Because nobody delivers conversations like we do. Start your mornings with Ground Report. Andy Pitbull Williams, Lennox Smith, and Nigel Snipes setting the agenda from 6 to 9 a.m. Then it's Off the Record with Stefan Reese and Mr. X, Fearless Talk, and the issues everybody's discussing. Stay connected with Sharon. Take it front with Officer Shabadi. Go beyond limits with Roland Stewart. Drive home with Heavy Sophie Duty and David Welch on Under the Radar. And wrap up your day with Kingsley and OB on The Wrap Up. Real talk, real people, real Trinidad and Tobago. Listen live on Talk City 91.1 FM and follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Talk City 91.1 FM, the #1 talk station in Trinidad and Tobago.
Good morning. This is your CTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. Making the news at this time. At the opening of the Caribbean Deaf Education Conference at UWI St. Augustine on Thursday, Education Minister Dr. Michael Dowlath announced that the PEARL program will be introduced in schools from September 2026. Originally designed to enhance the quality of education for persons within the OECS region, the initiative will deliver early diagnosis of hearing and visual impairments in children as young as 4 years old. Alongside this initiative, the minister noted that the Learning Without Limits, the national rollout of laptops for Form 1 students, will now feature AI-supported learning interface tailored for students with disabilities.
For students who are deaf or hard of hearing, the ministry is exploring AI tools that can support sign language communication, provide visual or text-based assistance, improve safe navigation, and use features such as mobile phone vibrations to alert students to alarms, approaching vehicles, or other potentially dangerous sounds.
Minister Dowlath added that emphasis will be placed on sign language training and ongoing professional development.
So at the Ministry of Education, we are prepared to transform the systems by earlier identification and intervention, by including support of families and greater access to Trinidad and Tobago Sign Language. Also, we are looking at programs for the continued professional development of our teachers, our educators, and our support staff.
The three-day conference brings together educators, researchers, and policymakers to drive equitable, inclusive, and rights-based education for deaf and hard of hearing learners across the Caribbean. Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries Ravi Ratiram has reaffirmed the ministry's commitment to deepening its collaboration with the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture as part of efforts to modernize the agricultural sector. He said the partnership will help drive agricultural transformation, enhance food security, and support the development of a more resilient and competitive agri-food industry. Speaking at the IICA Accountability and Agricultural Dialogue at the Sugarcane Feed Centre in Londonville on Thursday, Minister Ratiram underscored the importance of strategic partnerships in advancing innovation, climate resilience, and sustainable agricultural development. The minister highlighted the ministry's collaboration with IICA across key areas, including climate-smart agriculture, agricultural innovation, food safety, and agribusiness development, noting that these initiatives directly support the government's priorities of increasing domestic food production and reducing dependence on food imports. The annual dialogue brought together stakeholders to review IICA's technical cooperation achievements over the past year and identify priorities for strengthening TNT's agricultural sector. 27 households in the Princestown area received more than $338,000 in disaster relief and home repair grants from the Ministry of the People, Social Development and Family Services on Wednesday. The assistance forms part of the ministry's efforts to support families affected by adverse events and help them restore and repair their homes. The distribution, the 38th since the government assumed office, benefited 103 persons. Speaking at the distribution, Minister of the People, Social Development and Family Services, Vanada Mohit, said the program demonstrates the government's commitment to ensuring assistance reaches families when they need it most. She noted that the government had worked to address delays and backlogs that previously affected the delivery of assistance to vulnerable citizens. The ministry said it remains committed to delivering people-centered programs and services to ensure vulnerable individuals and families receive timely support. In some sport now, the Trinidad and Tobago senior men's football team now know the opponents for the CONCACAF Nations League, which is set to kick off in September. Derek King and his men are set to face Costa Rica, Haiti, Curacao, Nicaragua, and the Dominican Republic. The Six Nations will compete in a Swiss-style group stage during the September and October international windows. Each team plays 4 matches, 2 at home and 2 away, against opponents within the group. The schedule will be announced shortly. To qualify out of the group, the quarterfinals, TNT must face 2 opponents. The schedule will be announced shortly. They must be the top 2 who will then join the preceded Mexico, USA, Canada, and Panama in the knockout round. And that was your TTT News Update. I'm Kyrie Roberts. On behalf of the entire team here, have a wonderful day.
More news, more access, more ways to stay informed. TTT News covers the stories that matter on air and online. Join us nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Win tickets to cricket history. The men in maroon are coming home, and you could be there live. As part of the We Outside campaign, the West Indies take on Pakistan in an historic 2-match test series in Trinidad and Tobago. Watch and listen across the TTT Limited network for your chance to win tickets to the matches. Tune in